Yes, good morning, students. Later we can see the practical kind of things, how to create a table component, how we can make it as a dynamic composition. Let we can begin with the app.js file. In this app.js file is a functional component because it is begin with the function. So functional component means we can call it as a stateless component. Only it has a return statement. Means even functional component which has only the return statement means it will returning only the HTML kind of things. So inside this we have the div class name equal to in React instead of class like other HTML in other web technologies we are using class, but in React it is a class name equal to app. We are applying the app is a CSS which is written in the in this. So see, this app is a text align center. So we are applying this style for the this particular div. Inside this div we have the issue table. Issue table is what begin because it is begin with the capital. So capital letter begin with the capital letter. As I told in the previous session, if it is begin with the capital letter means which indicate that it is a component. If it is begin with a small letter means it is a HTML tag. So this will be the component. Issue table is a component. You know how to create the issue table component means you go to file, new file, place there will be a place symbol, click that and give it as a issue table.js file name. Okay, even as usual, if we create the file issue table, the first letter should be the capital issue table.js file. First in the file we should have to import the React from React. Okay, once import class name or component name issue table. The issue table class name and file name should be the same, which extend react.component. So react.component is a parent component for issue table. As usual, which has a class content constructor and render method. Constructor we don't want because we are not using any variable. We are not creating any variable. So don't want the constructor. Only we have the render. What is the render means? It will return the HTML content. Inside the render method, it will return the HTML content. Return table. Table means you know what is a table means to create the table. In this issue table, we are going to creating the table. Okay. So table class name border table. Well, you understood, right? What is a class name is to apply the CSS style, that is a border table. So we are using the class name. T8 means table header. TR is table row. TH is the table header. Because each column will become with ID. First column is ID. Column header. Next column header is the status. Next third column header is the owner. We have three different columns. The headers are ID, status, owner. Once you can complete close the table row and also close the table header. Next is table body. We have the table body issue row. What is the issue row is? Again, it will be begin with the capital letter. Issue row is what is the issue row? It is a component. What is the use of the issue row is to create the row in a table body. Within the table body to create the rows, we are using the issue row. If you go to issue row component, inside the issue row component, the again you can create as usual. So again it will be begin with the importing statement and class name which extend react dot. Inside we have the render method. Const id equal to this dot props dot id. What is the props means? What is this props? This props means we are receiving the property from the parent component or from other component we are receiving the property, that is id, status, owner. And finally we are assigning to some other variable. Let comes to the issue table. I'll show that issue row. We are passing the id equal to 1, property id, status, owner. These are the property we are passing from issue row component. From the issue table we are passing the id, status, owner. These are the property we are passing into the issue row component to create the rows in the issue table. So id equal to 1, status equal to open, owner equal to Kiran. So in the issue, go to issue row. In this, it will be accept this dot props dot id. ID is 1. The value which is 1 will be assigned here. This dot props dot status open will be assigned. The value of the status open. It will be assigned to the owner. Status. This dot props dot owner. The value of this property is Kiran. So it is assigned to Kiran. So return inside this we have the return tr means table row. We are going to creating the table row. Inside this we have the table definition or table data td within the interpolation. Within the interpolation we are displaying the value of the id. Id is 1. Next in the next td in the next cell value of the status is open. In the next cell owner value of the owner is Kiran. It will be create a one row for the table. You can go, you can create a one row. If you want to one more row is we can add a issue again we can add a issue row component id equal to 2. We are passing the id value 2 as a property for the issue row component. Status closed owner Prithvi. This is which will be passed as a property to the issue row. So this will create a one more row, that is id closed Prithvi. If you go to output, you can see this in the browser. As usual, you can run npm start. So it will create a table like this id status owner. This is row. What is this? This is created by first this by using this tag. This issue row id 1 status open owner Kiran. You want to add on one more means this will be the second row. Okay. So the second row has created. I want to add one more row. I want to add a one more row. How can add? We can add it. We can add it by using again we are adding the issue row by passing the property like id 3 status equal to assigned is equal symbol assigned. Owner is someone you can give owner name is owner Arish. You can give Arish. Owner name is Arish. Close this. So it will create one more row. You go to the browser, check the browser. Earlier it was 2 rows, now it is a 3 rows. If you want to add one more row, is again you need to add a issue row component. Okay. This is the one way. We can pass a. This is also can call passing the property from one component to the another component. That is, we are passing the properties from the issue table to the issue row. That is ID status owner. We are passing right. We are passing the ID status owner for the issue row component. In the inside the issue row component, we are receiving by using this dot props dot ID, this dot props dot status, this dot props dot owner, and assigning the value of this into the variable and return we are tr inside the for creating the row inside the body tr table row. It will be the value of cell. It will be the cell each cell. So we have three column values, that is td id. Id of the values 1 2 status id of the statuses sorry status of the status values o point or whatever owner what are each like that. It will be comes the value of that particular because we are placing it in the interpolation. So this is a one example. I want to make this as a, even know how many rows is comes to this table, issue table. We know exactly I want to add a 3 rows. Suppose if I want to add 5 rows, I can add a issue row another 2 times. But in the dynamic composition, it is not like that. If we don't know how many rows we have, because which will be dynamically passing from one component to the another component. We don't know exactly how many component how many rows we have. Either it can be have 5, either it can be 2, or it may be 20 rows. We don't know exactly. Either it can come from the API also, backend also. We don't know exactly. At that time, what can we do? So we can go with the dynamic composition. Okay. So let we can see how we can create a dynamic composition. Let we can see this now. See, we don't know exactly how many records or what is the length of the, it will come from dynamically, it will become from the other component, or it may be come from the API also, but from the backend also. At the time, what we can do, so we want to receive, suppose in this I'm going to pass in this two records. If it is a 20 records, we can also pass issue is equal to issues, but in the table we are receiving like this dot props dot issues for receiving the property. We are mapping map. What is the map miss? Map function. What is the map function will do? It will be map each element of the array. It will be map the each element of the array. For example, issue has two record. If it is a 5 record means it will create a 5 rows, 5 issue row. This dot props dot issues dot map, it will be mapping each record, whatever there in the record or rows elements are there inside the issues, that many number of rows it will create by using issue row. As I told, go to have dot. In this we have the two records. If it is a 5 records, again we can go copy here 3. Again you can copy 4. Then we can make it as a assigned or completed, closed, whatever it make it. You can make it as a 2. You can make it as a assigned 3. Whatever. You can make it as a okay. Let we can go to let this is a 3 rows. It was we are taking 4 rows. Now it will be create a 4 rows. We don't know exactly. It may be 3 rows or it may be vary. Depends on the okay. Now we can go to table. We are receiving that this dot props dot issues, because in the parent component we are passing for the issue table. Inside this there will be a table issue equal to issues. Come to the issue table. Inside the issue table, we are receiving this dot props dot issues and mapping each rows. We are mapping each row. How many records we have in the issues? We have 4 records. If you want to see, you can see how many records. One record this one, second record this one, third record this one, even fourth record this one. This much records we are passing as a property to the issue table. In the issue table, we are receiving this by using this dot props dot issues and mapping. We are mapping the each element issue row key equal to issue dot id issue equal to issues. So first record it will be map first for the issue row. What is the use of the issue row? To create the rows inside the table body. So key issue dot id issue equal to issue means that it will be mapping each time. It will be mapping the records. We have 4 records, right? It will be create the 4 rows, because each time it will first record it will be mapped for the issue row. First record will create, next it will be map the next record next table data of the issues. So next record will be create, row will be create, next it will be map, third row will be create, next it will be create, fourth row will be create by passing the issue equal to issues. So if we go to check it, it is a 4 records. Suppose if you update it, if you want to update it, it is a 5 means you can make it as 5 records. Go and check. It will be passed this record again for the issue table issue equal to issues. Again in the issue table we will map again like const issue this dot props dot const issue row equal to this dot props dot issue dot map. We are mapping the all the record from the issues and creating the number of that many number of rows by passing property like key issue id and issue equal to issue. So in the return statement, we have the table headers, table body. Inside the table body, we are placing this as a value issue rows. So it will create, say this issue rows. If we come to issue row, as usual, it will be received like this dot prop dot issue. So issue dot id, issue dot status, issue dot owner. It will create the rows, for creating the rows inside the table body. Okay, I think all of you understood. Thanks. Let's we can watch in the next video.